morning, hi, hello, and welcome to today's edition of Tech for Experts and Authors. My name's Chet Davis, your technology tutor. Great to be with you on this Tuesday morning as we step up each and every weekday morning, 6:45 Eastern, 9:45 Pacific. And if you're wondering about what time zone is that for you, if you're outside of those, check the broadcast from last Friday. We talked about a particular website tool you can share with your audience, with your tribe. So today I wanted to take on the topic of public Wi-Fi, free public Wi-Fi. It's a boon for all of us who travel, whether for pleasure or for business, and the ability to connect with the rest of the world. Maybe it's connecting with family and friends. Maybe it's connecting with business clients, with customers, with prospects. And it can be a really important tool, whether you're on a mobile device or a computer, to be able to connect while you're traveling, right? And there are some inherent dangers, and danger maybe is not the right word, but it can be, but risks. And I wanted to take just a couple minutes with you today to cover some of those risks so that you can be better protected if you need to use public Wi-Fi. First of all, be aware that free public Wi-Fi, generally speaking, is not secured. If you can just log into a free public Wi-Fi, it is not a secured network. It is available not only for you to easily gain access to the Wi-Fi, but for hackers to also gain access to that same Wi-Fi access point. Now, there's a couple dangers associated with that. The most common are that hackers can use that free public Wi-Fi, an unsecured network, for distributing malware. In other words, while you're on your mobile device, more likely when you're on your computer, your laptop, they can add malware to your computer, usually associated with a pop-up that'll say, hey, there's a new update for a very common software application that perhaps you're using. And of course, people say, oh, great, I want the latest version of whatever it is, Adobe PDF, whatever it is. And they click on that. And what it's actually doing is it's adding, installing malware. And that can be anything from a Trojan horse to a virus to a lot of different softwares that are going to affect you in the future. Usually it's grabbing some of your personal information. Passwords, passcodes, etc., login credentials that hackers can use to get money out of your accounts or to engage in identity theft, that kind of thing. So while you're on a free public Wi-Fi network, definitely don't want to click anything. I would not install software for the potential suspicion that there's a hacker attempting to install malware. The other big danger in an unsecured network is that a hacker can be essentially part of the process where you reach out to the internet. Here's what I mean. So you're sitting there in the cafe on your computer, and unbeknownst to you, there's a hacker who's between you and the Wi-Fi access point. But they've set up their computer in such a way that your information that you're typing, that you're sending, goes through their computer device before it gets to the internet. So anything you're typing in an email, anything you're typing on your keyboard, for example, your bank website address, your bank account number, your bank account password number, any part of your login credentials, your site key, any of those kind of things we use as secure information, is going through the hacker before it goes to the internet. So yes, you get into your bank and everything appears to be fine. But meanwhile, the hacker has garnered your login credentials, your private secure information, and at a later date, they can also access your bank account and probably not make a deposit, but make a big withdrawal or a number of withdrawals. So be aware of that. Alongside with that, there's a couple things to use free public Wi-Fi. So I don't want to scare the bejeebers out of you and think you could never use it. You should never use it. But here's some general thoughts. Don't do banking when you're on free public Wi-Fi. Don't do anything related to finance, related to your money. Your stock accounts online, your bank accounts. Those of you who are experts, authors, entrepreneurs, don't access your PayPal portal. I would not log in to my learning portal, anything else that has to do with making money, my Stripe account. I would be very cautious, honestly, about entering log information on any of my social media accounts, especially those of you who use social media for marketing purposes, for reaching out to your audience, because the last thing you want to do is have that compromised and have somebody take that over, which has happened. So again, it's being thoughtful, it's being careful. A number of people like myself use a password protection program where I'm not actually entering the specific password. I'm entering a different key that lets me in, and it will automatically populate my password, so I'm not typing that in. So even if somebody is hacking me, they're not going to see me put in those passcodes. So again, don't do banking or anything related to finances. If you're accessing websites and you're typing in passwords on a free public Wi-Fi, you darn better be sure to have different passwords for your more secure websites. You might think, well, I'm just logging into my Yelp account to check restaurant reviews and to submit a restaurant review. Yeah, but hackers know that a majority of people use the same password across multiple accounts. So that same password you're using on Yelp or some other, low profile website, you're thinking, well, that's not my banking website, so I'm going to go ahead and type in here. Yeah, but a lot of hackers know that lots and lots of people, hopefully not you, use the same password for those low secure websites as they do for banking and their other online important ones. So use different passwords on a free public Wi-Fi for sure. The other thing is you want to go into your control panels or your preferences, depending on the computer, the operating system you're using, and turn off sharing, turn off file sharing, turn off computer sharing. Essentially, what we're doing is we're enabling what we call the firewall that prevents somebody else from getting into your computer. So I'm just sending out. I'm not allowing anybody to come in through the back door, if you will. And the other quick thing is, use secure socket layer. Use websites if you're entering private information. And this is a topic we'll follow up in a subsequent program. Is always, if you're entering a credit card information, if you're doing any online banking, make sure it's the HTTPS or secure website in the website address or the URL to make sure you're in a website that has more protection. If you do need to do some banking, maybe you need to check your bank balance where you're traveling internationally. Well, to the degree you can, depending on the mobile plan that you've got set up, use your cellular data plan and not a free public Wi-Fi. It's going to cost you more money, so don't say, well, Chet, you made me get this big cellular bill from AT&T or Verizon when I'm traveling, right? Well, that's a topic for another program. In fact, I have a whole half-hour program dealing with using your mobile devices when you're traveling abroad. But a cellular connection is just between you and the connection rather than a free public unsecured Wi-Fi. That's why I suggest that. Lastly, if you find yourself a person who is traveling a lot, maybe for business or pleasure, and you need to connect securely, there is a method you can put into place, and that's called a VPN or virtual private network. And a VPN we're going to actually cover on tomorrow's program. Again, that's tomorrow morning, 6:45 a.m., 9:45 Pacific. I hope you'll consider joining me and learn about VPN. It used to be something that it was, employees of big companies could put into place, and it was very expensive. It still can be. But VPN is something that has become more affordable and more available for every one of us. And we'll talk about that and show you the specifics of that tomorrow, and you can decide if that's something that's appropriate to you. Chet Davis, your technology tutor. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a great rest of the day. Go out and make it a good day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye now.